Hello everyone, I'm Renato from Vericoda, and in this video I'm going to show you free plugin for Oxygen Builder called OxyMath. This is a calculation framework to make no-code calculation within Oxygen Builder. This plugin consists of two parts. First part is a custom element, which is basically input. It could be slider or regular numeric input. And another part is tiny JavaScript library that is heart of the plugin, which will enable you to make a no-code calculation and to output value of any input to any text element within Oxygen Builder. So let's dive a little bit deeper. Okay, now we get point of the element, and we are going to look deeper which options we could set in order to make that input behaves as we want. So we are going to add that element, and we have the first option, unique reference. This is the most important, and it is vital to make any calculations, and it needs a bit to be unique, because if we have two inputs with same name, our output won't know from which input it should pull data, and it could make calculation wrong. So I'll call it ref1, but you could make it something more semantic. Second option is input type. It could be number, which is now, or could be range. Range will give us this slider. I'll keep right now number. We could add some label, and I'll display flex. Back to primary options. The next options are minimal value, maximal, and initial. So minimal value is pretty much self-explanatory, maximal also. Initial value is value which we'll have at start, and step is how much these arrows should increase or decrease. So we could make it like 10, and okay, now elements is rebuild, and now it will increase by 10. I'll get back to 1. Initial value, we could, let's say, 50. This could be 1000. This could be like 10. And step could be 10. And now we could change by 10. Also, we have a label visibility. Label could be hidden. And these are some basic options. After this, we are going to jump inside the styling options. A point of this plugin is that you don't need to use the form plugin to perform some simple calculation, and you don't need to make form design for this calculation. You can basically throw these inputs all over design and create a really unique design for calculations. And you will later have option to connect with form plugins. But for now, we are going to see how we can style this numeric input to look like this above. Okay, just let me check the color. Okay, now we have color. Now we can style it. First, these arrows are hard to style and maybe you don't like them. We are going to hide. Okay, we are going to colors. So this first color is for a range. That is not this type of input. So we are going to use color, give it some gray and background color like this. Next step is border. We are going to give black bottom border. So something like this. 2 pixels. And border style will be none. And we are selecting now border bottom and solid. Next step is padding. We are going to give some padding, increase left padding, and now we have almost exactly as above. Okay, we want now to make these for increase or decrease buttons. Creating custom buttons is really easy. We need to add some button just to see color. Okay, this will be plus. Like this. We are going to give some padding and minimal width. Now we can copy and make it minus button. Okay, we are going to add div to place everything inside and select something like this. Okay, I missed. And now we can add buttons here. Okay, let's select div and add some gap, 4 pixel, and here we could add some margin, and we have custom input design. We are going to save, open front-end in new tab to see how it works. It does not work because we need to connect. And we connect with custom attribute. For increasing, we need to data math plus, and we need to use this reference. This will be ref2. So now we are going to click here and paste reference. This will tell this button to increase this input. And here we need other type, data math means, and ref2. Okay, we are going to save. Look at front end, and it works. If we change step like this, this will also follow step. So And right now it is time to play with range input. So we are going to copy this div. Okay, I'll copy. I'll need to add some margin like this. Okay, and we are going to copy this color, and we are now selecting range type of input, and we are going to style it same fashion. So we have this color option for range inputs, which will change color of the track. So we need also to change unique reference, and these buttons should also be adjusted. Because that should be unique. And let me close and open front end. And we could see that it is working. In next step, we are going to add text elements and output input values inside them. While this whole plugin is just one element which you can use, it is a lot more than one element. It is a whole calculation framework to make no-code calculations. So to demonstrate that, now we are going to expand and create a custom select element. So we need to add some div. We are going to use custom tag, select. Inside that we are going to add some text. Okay, this will be option A. We are going to add attribute, value 100, let's say, and apply. And we need to change tag to option. So now we have new element. And we can duplicate that. This will be option C. We are going to pin this attribute and change to, let's say, 300. This is option B. Let's pin that attribute too. And let's pin also this. Okay, and to connect that to system, we need to go to div and add attribute data math ref, and we are going to manually create a reference. This will be ref4 and apply. And this is now same as these inputs. Now we can connect to any output and any element inside Oxygen Builder. Up to this point, we were just creating inputs to our calculation system. We have created two numeric inputs, one slider or range input, and one select, which is also input to our calculation system. Now we are going to output these values, so we can see basic mechanism how we can output value to any oxygen element. and later we are going to expand this to making some calculation with these outputs. So let's dive deeper. We are going to add some text. Let's change context to output 1 and add some margin. Okay. Now we need to add attribute data math out. To output anything or to calculate anything, we need to add this attribute data math out. And to place a value from any input, we need to write curly braces and unique reference inside it. And that will be changed on the fly with value from input. So apply. We are going to duplicate. Okay, I could pin and change to ref2. This will be output for second input. You can duplicate output 3 for third reference, and we could make also for this space between, and this will be for last. This value is value of this reference. We can see ref4. This is from this ref3. And now we can save and see, does it work? Okay, we can see on front end these values are shown. So that is the basic mechanism to output any value from any input. Okay, up to this point we have seen how we can output any value from our inputs. Now we are going to see how we can output and do some calculation. For example, addition, input 1 plus input 2. We need to use these reference and operation between them. If we want to make subtraction, and we are doing that for reference 4 and 3, we are doing everything almost the same. We use data math out, multiplication, same story, data math out, reference 1 multiplied by reference 2. We need to use these curly braces. And if we want to divide, we need to use again same syntax. It is pretty easy. So we could save, and we could now preview changes in front end. So now when I change something, you can see that it will recalculate. Okay, we have tried every element and we can see changes. One important thing, if we want to, let's say, something better looking number than this, we could go here. And we are going to add one more attribute, data math round. And let's say to 2 decimal points. And now that looks far more useful. This is something that you would like to see and not and if we want to submit some of calculation, we need to use something like Fluent Forms. You can use free or pro version. We are going to add new form. We are going blank, hidden field, OxyMath demo. That will be our name. And we need to copy this ID. I will delete this. And we are going to add shortcode wrapper. I'll paste shortcode. So we have now that. We are going back here to this field. We are going to copy this. We are going to submit this value, or let's say we are submitting this addition. We need to go to attributes, a new data ff mirror, and as value we need to field name for linking. We are going to save. Okay. And this should be submitted now. Okay, we are going to entries. And we can see that submission here. So we can see how we can easily connect that with form plugin. We could map multiple outputs to multiple form fields. They can be visible or hidden. When I made the first prototype of this, I wanted to test the possibilities of this element, and I went on Dribble and found this design, but except it is design, to calculate something like mortgage, you need to implement some really complex formula. And it went pretty smoothly. So let's see results in Oxygen Builder. So this is the result. As you can see, it looks pretty much close. You can see in here that some padding is missing, but at that point this element did not have spacing control, so that is main difference from original design. We have 3 inputs and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outputs, and these are pretty easy, some calculations. You can see this, how to convert this slider, which is for years, to months, and this is just outputting years. This is maybe a little bit more complex calculation. It will take a percentage and this price, and will calculate. But what is the complex part? This is the complex part. To calculate this payment, you can see this, and it is really long calculation, but you can calculate even something complex as that. So I think it went really good from complex calculation standpoint. Design was missing few things, but now it could be replicated even closer. So this is some typical form design style, but we could with this we could have flexibility that we could move that input even in another section, so you could have complex design and complex calculation. I'll bring it back because this is how it's supposed to look. So thank you for watching. I hope this will help you with some problems inside Oxygen Builder, and I think this solution is out of box because it is a fully no code calculation framework, and you can place inside any part of design. That is key thing here. That is why this should be combined with form plugins. This is not and won't ever be some form plugin. This is just to make more flexible design options and these calculations, and you can use dedicated form to submit this data. Thank you for watching, and this is all from this video.